Hello and welcome everybody to the latest edition of Midweek Matters. I'm your host, James Graham, and as always, I am joined by the wonderful Charlie White.
James Graham, great to be here. Great to see your face on this Wednesday. Geez, the weather is grim though. I think this wet weather's starting to take its toll on my mental health. You know, I'm starting to get the winter sads.
The winter sads.
Yeah,
well,
needs
look,
summer to come back.
Yeah, look, I'm okay with it. It's just a little bit of rain. I actually think you
used
should
to
enjoy the rain. Well, I'm used to it, and it's enjoyable. Just before we do get into the how are yous and all that, Charlie, it is worth noting that we are an independent podcast, so all your likes, follows, subscriptions, they all do matter because I think we're pretty close to a couple of big
milestones. Yeah, 25,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is huge. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you are enjoying it, subscribing would be very helpful. The other one is 50,000 followers on Instagram, nearly there as well. So if you just search the bio around, you'll find us there on Instagram if you don't follow us already.
And because we are independent, it really does help.
Yeah.
Like those numbers do make a difference. So we appreciate you that have already got in touch.
Yeah.
And
anyone
also
who comments,
got a comment, likes,
subscribe, follow us on Spotify, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts.
Well, one thing that we can really get our listeners involved in at the moment is we're building the Roundtable.
Yeah.
For this year, season 3, we've got a couple of significant guests locked in. We may be looking to change the position involved in the conversation.
Yeah. If you don't know what the Roundtable is, probably should say that because maybe people just join us this year. Last couple of years during the off season, we do a 10-part series with a coach, a player, an executive, and a journalist and debate the biggest issues in the game. So the 10 biggest issues in the game. We also do a fan roundtable as well. Winston Neville's here. He was part of the fan roundtable that we do. It sort of was more of a content creator roundtable, wasn't it? In the end, because we had Guru, Winston, Hello Sport, Tom Birmingham.
It was. But what we're looking to do is maybe switch up some of the positions. So maybe looking to bring a player agent in as opposed to a player.
Yeah, because you can represent the player, in my opinion. So I think a player agent could be a bit better. But we've already locked in some huge names.
Yes.
Like Jimmy doesn't like me saying it because he's superstitious, but some really big names. And it's great content. It's awesome we're in this studio now as well because we were in our previous studio, which was nothing like this, nowhere near as good as this. It was very cramped in there with 5 people where we can sort of spread out in here. It's great.
It is going to be great. But we've got the pitch to our fans, our listeners. Let us know what topic you want us to get into. One that I'm sort of bringing to the table is injuries and injury prevention. I was contacted by someone on LinkedIn actually about how the NFL is using machine learning and artificial intelligence to help reduce, the plan would be to potentially help reduce the rate of injury or prevent some. Now, I think injuries, there's preventable and non-preventable injuries. So if we can look to reduce that, I think that would be great with the use of AI, maybe the use of equipment as well. A lot of people talking about the surface and the footwear used. Obviously, new tackles like the hip drop, that obviously had a bit of a spike in injury, but I think there is something there for us to go into.
Yeah.
But again, let us know in the comments what issues are pressing you. One of those maybe be diving simulation.
Yeah. Refereeing, the bunker,
these are
the transfer window. Do you like it? Do you not? You know,
expansion.
Yeah, all that jazz was plenty to get to. Speaking of our audience, well, the message of the week, great one this week. Craig emailed us in. You can join anytime if you want. The buyaround@gmail.com to send in a message for Jimmy. As I said, that's the best way to get it answered on the show. However, you can just hit him up in the street if you see him and ask him a question, and he'll do a live show there and then, basically.
Don't encourage that.
You can. No, feel free. Jimmy's welcome. And if he doesn't have the time, he's a busy man, though. Sometimes he might say, I'm so busy. I got to go.
Actually, no joke, dude. I'm very out there with, the fans always stop to get a photo. But if you're in a rush to get somewhere, that's just when it becomes a bit of a no. So
do you want to give anyone some key spots to sort of find you to ask questions there when you're at a leisurely pace? Like your local cafe, Do you have a local cafe?
I mean, look, I'm
to?
always open to engagement, and I enjoy talking about the game.
Yeah.
And I enjoy getting different points of view as well. Because actually I was with a friend, and he spoke to me about the Harry Grant play on Nathan Cleary. He brought up a great point.
What was it?
Should Melbourne not have been penalised for Moses Liotta being tackled without the ball?
It's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout.
And I was like, I've not thought of it like that. Yeah. And I was going to pass that idea off as my own. But big shout out to John for giving me that point. Because if you go back and look at it, Harry Grant puts his arm out, tackles Moses Liotta without... It's not an obstruction.
No. He runs an unnatural line as well,
and Harry Grant sticks his arm... He's technical. If Moses Liotta falls over there, if that's in general play...
Yeah.
Like Nathan Cleary spoke about the blockers and stuff. But if that's in general play, Harry Grant's made an attempt to tackle him without the football. So maybe he should have been penalised.
The more and more I see replays of that Harry Grant moment, the more and more it's like it was such a... Panthers were robbed, absolutely robbed. He runs not the quickest line. He runs out of his way to find Moses Liotta rather than run with the little gap that was there to actually try and charge down Nathan Cleary.
Yeah, anyway.
Stupid.
What's the...
Craig.
Sorry, let me just... yesterday, I was down in the Gong getting my ultrasound for the old varicose veins.
Yep.
Stopped at a set of lights. It's raining. Some geezer by the lights go, "Hey, Jimmy, can you wait there? I'm just going to pull over and get a photo." I was like, no, it's raining and I've got to get to a medical appointment. Toodaloo. Yeah. He's like, "Oh, no worries." I'm like, yeah.
Look, that's bizarre. If someone's in their car, you've missed your moment. Yeah. You got to take your opportunities when they come. I was with I was in Auckland, as I said, on Monday's show on the weekend. Stephen Adams, the NBA player, New Zealand's greatest ever NBA player, maybe their only NBA player for New Zealand, probably. He's a man mountain. He was staying at the hotel I was in. I bumped into him twice. Didn't ask him for a picture either time.
Good.
But I was like, he's the kind of person I would do, oh, yeah, good to get a picture with him. But I didn't ask him all the time. But because he was sitting with his family, having a good time, having drinks
Charlie,
at the cafe downstairs.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm great. I'm all about fan engagement. But sometimes, like, getting a photo, it's like, what are you going to do with that?
Well, put it in your Instagram, put it in your socials. Mate, it's a nice thing. It's a nice thing. A photo's a nice thing. Yeah, but it's all about time. I understand you're in your car. You're not going to get out of your car. No. It's like you got to find the window.
I mean, I was crossing the street. I was out the car.
Oh, right. He was driving.
I was I'd parked. I was walking to the hospital. I was crossing the road, and he's in the car, pulled up at the lights, and gone, "Hey, Jimmy, can you just wait there?" I'm like, "No, mate, I'm going." But look, the whole photograph with kids, I get it. I 100% get that. But I don't know, like, you get a photograph, like, what are you going to do? It's all for, socials. Like I say, it's for social.
Send your friend, I was with this person.
But then the question is, what was he like? I don't know, just ask him for a photo.
No, but you can have a brief thing. He would have been friendly, like took the picture, didn't take the picture.
But I've got an issue. We take far too many photographs as a society.
We do.
Right
I
now.
agree with that. Concerts, too much film and too much nonsense going on. The only celebrity I've ever got a picture with is John Terry, the English centre back. And I was at a place called Sash nightclub in Darling Harbour, which was like this. It is. If anyone's been to Sash, you know what it's like. But it's like the Sunday night, goes until 6 a.m. Or even later. It goes like all day until Monday morning late. And John Terry was there, and I got a picture with him. And I look like I'm having a good time. Yeah, in that picture.
Yeah. I mean, look, one of the pet hates is like a photograph of food and a normal cafe presented food. Like if you're getting smashed avocado with poached eggs on top, you really don't need a photograph of that.
No, you're right.
When we talk about climate change and overuse of energy, that goes into the cloud somewhere. So you're wasting energy.
Yeah,
it's going. You're costing the planet here. So if you're going to rob us of plastic straws, stop taking photographs of nonsense and take one. That's it. You get one picture. I'm a bit guilty of that, like overtaking too many for a specific moment. If it's me and the family or whatever. But beat it with your overuse of photographs. If you've got food, I mean, what you're going to post that, and what's anyone else? Oh, they look lovely. How were the eggs?
Yeah,
great. Like, have some legitimate, genuine conversations.
Yeah. You know what needs a lot of work? He's brought up plastic straws there. Is just disposable cutlery in general. The plastic, the wooden kind, all of it. It's all rubbish. It just doesn't have the ability to cut through anything of value.
No.
I just had some eggs and mushrooms on toast before. Got my takeaway cutlery, and of course the fork broke.
Yeah.
And then what I do, I'm just using my hands.
Well, you know what, Charlie? For someone who comes at me for the specifics in life and what I would call experience enhancers, like a food, like when you politely go and pick up a sandwich for me at Triple M, and I say, "Oh, can you get the chicken wrap, but no aioli, add salt and pepper," and you're like, "Oh, you're so pedantic, you're so."
But you don't need to add salt and pepper. They're obviously seasoning their chicken. We're not in the north of England where they just give you a white breast unseasoned.
Well, I've obviously had it without salt and pepper, and I'd like a bit extra because it's an experience enhancer. I'm not taking a photograph. It's all about me.
No, you don't need extra salt and pepper. I've had it. It's very salty. It's very salty already. I've had that wrap. It's definitely salty.
It's a personal preference.
Yeah, I can understand if you're like, "Oh, can you add a bit of chili in there, or can you do this?" Like, but extra salt and pepper. It's like there's plenty of salt and pepper in there already. You gotta relax.
Anyway, we're
you know what? I'm gonna reveal. I don't ask for extra salt and pepper when I go and get. I just pretend I do, so you don't even notice the difference. You don't even know, and I don't even ask for salt and pepper. I go, yeah. I get your none aioli because I know you don't like your aioli, but I never ask for extra.
Just
salt
there's no
and pepper.
need for aioli with avocado. If you've got a chicken wrap with avocado, put aioli on there. Extra calories. I mean, what are you doing?
I understand that.
It's like when people do cafes and you say, "Oh, can I get some peanut butter on toast?" and they put butter on. And then the peanut butter. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't need all those extra calories in my peanut butter on toast. I'm on the fly here.
Yeah. So
these are all first world problems. But stop taking photographs of your peanut butter on toast as well.
Craig's email. Message of the week, thebyron@gmail.com. Message Instagram, comment on Spotify, whatever. However you want to get in touch. Message on TikTok, for all I care. The question is, how do the Storm constantly reshuffle their spine and not lose anything? Pappenhausen out last week. Hughes obviously already out. They moved Munster to fullback, and they somehow can compete with the best teams in the comp. How does their system work that they can actually still stay competitive?
Look, I think a lot of Melbourne Storm's success is about the environment which they work, live, and play. So they're out the way in Melbourne, for one. So not any, I guess, what you would call like locally produced players. They have produced players and developed players, but non-locally. Those players are there together. Like, they are isolated from the rest of their usual community and their family. So they then become a tight, close-knit family. You look at teams like the Raiders, they would have similar, where a lot of people move into Canberra, but they would also have a crop of players that are produced and live and are there. Same with the Warriors, a one-team town, but again, spread out. I imagine a lot of the Melbourne players live within a close proximity of one another. And I know, speaking to their players, they do treat each other like family because they kind of have to. So a lot of it is due and down to that. Add to the fact that they meticulously plan, and often they've got multiple options at their disposal. Think back to when Nico Hines was at the football club. Like, he was the 14, and was it him or Paps? So they
and Drinkwater was there as well.
And Drinkwater was there. So you've got a multitude of, you've got different options. So if plan A fails, there's your plan B. Even look at it with Brandon Smith and Harry Grant. You've got plan A, you've got plan B. Oh, well, Harry's getting to a point where he needs to play. Okay, let's think outside the box. Let's put him on loan to the Tigers. Benefits, all parties win. We've got option A, we've got option B, sometimes option C as well. We look at the situation now with Jonah Pezzett. We go, ooh, and they're future-proofing their plans. They're not because they have been successful, they can now afford to plan for multiple scenarios playing out, but years into the future. We know when we spoke to Matt Cameron about how Penrith have their salary cap locked away for multiple years. This is the advanced stage of planning where some other teams that are maybe down that bottom end of the table, like this is such a luxury for Melbourne to have. And it's almost like, again, I'm paraphrasing the phrase here, for those that have everything, more will be given, but hope that those that have nothing, everything will be taken. And those that have everything, i.e. the Melbournes and the Penriths of the world, the Roosters, they get to, because I guess that the fundamental needs of a football club or an organisation are met, you can now start to think about potential problems down the line, or you can look to the future and look at solving problems before they arise, where I'm just going to take let's say the Tigers that have much improvement, but last year or 2 years ago, 3-4 years ago, they're always thinking of the immediate. Yeah, they're signing players for later dates, but it is all the immediate problem. All like they're thinking, how can we win next week?
Yeah.
Where Melbourne can, don't get me wrong, they'll be focusing on how they can win this week and they're fine tuning their game, but they can have the luxury to look ahead and go, Cameron Munster, here he is. Who's next? Yeah. Okay, Jonah Pezzett. And look at some of the, I guess, clauses that are put in players' contract. One, Melbourne Storm is a desirable destination because of the quality of coaching that happens there, as well as their performance. That's an attractive place to be, an attractive place to come through. But when we look at clauses, how they've implemented clauses into the likes of the deals of Pezzett and Farlongo, that is, again, you cover an option A, you cover an option B. And they may get to that tipping point where they have to make pull a lever and say, we're going to let Pezzett go, or actually, no, we can't afford to do this. Let's let one of them go. With expansion on the horizon or a deal runs out, very rarely, I think only the Cooper Cronk deal would have surprised them. Yeah. I know they allowed Dale Finucane to go, but he was a lock forward, and I know Coach Bellamy loved the bones of Dale, and as do I. Probably a non-desirable, but maybe a bit of salary cap pressure.
Yeah, and he was getting a bit older. He said a couple of years ago, but we even saw that with Dale in his last couple of years. I mean, he retired early, obviously, so Storm probably, understood his best years were sort of becoming behind him.
And I think they, I know you don't like this, the Pareto principle around
Price's Law,
but they understand that the spine players, those 3 or 4 spine players, impact the game more than most. Don't get me wrong, you need middles.
Yeah.
You do that, you do.
But that's why it's so crazy what they've been able to do this last week against Penrith, and they're huge favourites against the Bulldogs. Munster's playing out of position at fullback. Obviously, he's played fullback before, but then you got Pezzett and Wishart are your halves, and Harry Grant's at hooker, and they are $1.40 favourites against the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, who are sitting in the top 3.
The Munster, I think.
Just imagine that. Just imagine that though. Any other team has that much of a spine reshuffle. They are like $4 outsiders. It's incredible what Melbourne do.
Yeah. Oh no, it is, Charlie. We'll look at the Broncos. I know they got a good win on the weekend, but if they go up against one of the big dogs after that,
they're an underdog.
They're an underdog,
100%.
losing Mam and losing Reynolds like they did.
It's interesting that you brought up Munster and reshuffling and obviously the salary cap and all that sort of stuff. Cheese sort of dropped a bombshell on us on Monday's show that Tino might be actually going back to Melbourne. And after he said that, didn't really think much of it at the time, but then sort of did some digging around it, and it actually makes a lot of sense. Cam Munster, we're starting to expect that Melbourne might actually be happy to let him go to Perth. And the signs of Jonah Pezzett and how talented he is have been shown last week. I'm sure we'll see more of that again this weekend. If they do let Munster go, that obviously frees it's $1 million a year freed up by Cam Munster if he goes to Perth. But then Big Nelson's the other one. So Big Nelson's on huge money, and they're pretty happy to see him go. He's been linked to rugby, R360. If they let him go as well, they easily create 1.3, 1.4, more than that money in their salary cap, which they can then fill with someone like Tino Fasua-Malawi. I think there's a good chance this could happen.
Well, Charlie, not only that, but also the fact that if most clubs were to, again, pull those levers or make those trades, especially with the Munster one, the replacement is there. And not only is he there, he's signed up till 2029.
Yeah, long-term deal, yeah.
So it's not even as if you have to go, we're going to upgrade and extend this guy.
Yeah.
This is the foresight that Panisi, Bellamy, and the other power brokers there have, where they go, okay, if we let Munster go, we're not scrambling in the market to go and find a replacement, or we're not scrambling. Jonah Pezzett realises, hang on a minute, I'm just going to back myself to fulfill my potential. It's, let's lock him in now. So what would he be on? The 5?
He's on 5.6 around that, Jonah Pezzett, which is good money for a young half, an unproven young half.
Great money.
But that shows how good they are at talent identification.
Great money.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I can't imagine Melbourne Storm renegotiating that deal without more benefits for them. They're not going to say, okay, Joni, you've done really well in season 26 or 27, or it'll be 27 if Cam Munster goes on, and then just a feel-good factor of, here's a nice little bonus. It will be, okay, Jonah, let's upgrade and extend you to 20, because you can't go to market. Let's go 2032.
Yeah.
Again,
yeah,
genius planning.
Like, they've done such good. And if you're Tino, he knows how good it is in Melbourne anyway. Like,
well, and again, this is the situation for Tino Fasua-Malawi, where he's obviously a frustrated figure at the Titans, and he's been sold a pitch there. He's obviously a very proud Queenslander. I think he wants it to succeed.
Yeah.
And a lot of us have been in organisations where, for the love of God, you're wanting it to succeed, and you can't try any harder, and you take personal responsibility, and you're accountable to your actions. But then sometimes you look around and go, I've got a reality check here.
Let's be honest, though. Any player would have accepted the deal he was offered. It was a 10-year deal with options galore and a ratchet clause. Like, you can talk that he wants to stay at the Titans, be successful. Any player would have signed that contract. Any player.
Well, and look, I'm going to take his word as legitimate that he wants a successful Titans, but that deal that he was offered, like, when you're supposed to sign a 10-year deal, that is supposed to give not just you security, but the club security, i.e. Jason Tamalolo. That was a game of a deal of give and take where Tamalolo signed that deal, and he got the security of a 10-year deal, but also the Cowboys got that security of, we're not going to lose this, lock of a generation.
Yeah,
we're like, and there's pros and cons, and we can examine that deal. Was it good? Was it bad? But they got that security that he's not going to be going to market, where, like, all the favour, all the pros are with the player, and there is absolutely no benefit for the Gold Coast Titans to sign him for a 10-year deal.
It's not a 10-year deal. It's not a 10-year deal.
That's it. It's a 10-year deal for Tino.
Yeah.
It's not a 10-year deal for the Titans.
No. So they've got no benefit in it whatsoever. No. Like, it's a stupid deal. Like, 10 years with clauses, I can't understand why any club would even entertain that.
Because even if you said,
why don't you say we'll give you 5 years without clauses? It's a better deal for the Titans.
Even if you just said we'll give you a 3-year deal, we're still in the same predicament. It's exactly the same.
It's exactly the same contract.
Exactly the same contract.
No benefit at all. Like, it looks good. You know what it is? It's people in jobs who can then go, look, I signed Tino to a 10-year deal.
It's a PR.
It gives them a little tick from their ownership group, from the CEO, whoever's signing those deals. That's
because he is basically only signing a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
With from a football club perspective, or whatever it was. But Charlie, like I say, so he's in that predicament now. I want things to be good at the Titans. He's been sold the dream Obviously, Coach Hasler in. He's looking around. He's seen Kieran Foran go, and he wants to believe. But when you're in those dressing rooms, you see. We've spoke to Tino after games, and he's just shattered. And I admire the fact that he stands up each and every time, faces the music, but it wears thin.
Yeah,
and when his manager would get an offer from the Dragons, who are looking positive and going in the right direction. We're going to touch on that bottom 9 in just a moment. It wears thin, and because you've been sold the dream before, you can start to turn your head and go, okay, well, the Dragons, it's going to mean a fresh start, a move to Wollongong, a move to Sydney, some new colours, roughly speaking, the same financial package. You could argue you get less bang for your buck by living in Sydney versus living in the Gold Coast. And there's lifestyle stuff and family, but like you'd be questioning your motivation for moving. Unfortunately, the Dragons, they're not that legacy club that they maybe once were, like a Roosters would be.
Because their pitch team will be, oh, you're the piece we need, but it's not true. Tino will look at that and go, well, what's your spine for the next 5 years look like?
Yeah. And look, all those pictures around, we're a sleeping giant. You be the main man, and that is all true. But Tino would look and go, what am I actually doing this for? Like if Tino, and I said this around, if it's not about maximising your dollar, then he'd need to ask his manager, what would the NRL accept as a contract offer? Because that is a legitimate question. And then go to a Melbourne, a Bulldogs, a Roosters, teams that are in and around that upper echelon and, on most people's radar for
I don't think the Roosters can get him, just given how... the pack they already have.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Dogs can get him either. I think it would be, I reckon that in reality, it's probably Melbourne, Perth, if Mal can sell him on, be the face of a new franchise, and maybe that interests him. Maybe that interests him though, Jimmy. And then the Titans, I think it's between those 3. But I reckon Melbourne, if they can get to even 1.1, 1.2, they'll have their noses in front.
I wouldn't completely write off the Dogs or the Roosters.
Yeah.
Because they are such, Roosters especially, legacy club, the Dogs still building. You look at moving parts all the time. If Tino comes to the table, then you start looking at how you can move some jigsaw pieces out to get that big piece in. Yeah. You really do.
It would be tough, though. It would be tough with Leo Thomas coming on at 100.
But especially at the... You sell to him he knows where the club's going, and because of that, we can only make you an offer of 9. And I say only, a lot of people out there would jump at that chance, but compared to the 1.5 he could potentially be getting, it's 9, and that's all we can. And you know why you're taking that. Be similar at Melbourne.
Yeah,
he'd be going there for the 9, and he knows why. He knows why he's going there. He knows that. Look, not sacrifice, but he knows what he's leaving on the... Let's just frame it as he knows what he's leaving on the table. If you want to maximise earning capacity, you'd maybe go to the Perth.
Yeah, probably, because of third parties and stuff, to face a new franchise, there'll probably have a lot of third parties that first year, you'd think.
If that's your goal, if you want to maximise earning capacity, you wait and you go to PNG.
Yeah,
potentially.
Look, I don't know. He's going to have too many offers. He won't be going somewhere like PNG, I wouldn't think.
Well, it depends.
Let's talk the Dogs, though, because it's a big few weeks for them. And we've got Bulldogs royalty here, not only in James Graham, but Winston Neville here as well. Actually, first of all, Winston, you got a mic there, don't you? Yeah. Winston, 3 weeks to go. We spoke about it on Monday's episode, the Lockie Galvin effect at the Bulldogs. It's been a funny one, the spine reshuffle.
Yeah, it's... As a fan, it's confusing because obviously, Gavin came in mid-season, and I guess you could say it's been a roller coaster because 1 week it looks really good, and Gavin's throwing match-winning cutout balls or coming off the bench and winning games, and then the other weeks he's being blamed for the losses. I feel like, especially against the Roosters, that loss wasn't Lockie Gavin's fault. He's not the one that got dominated in the middle. He's not the one that wasn't contesting Daniel Tupou. I think it's unfair that the blame goes to him. But like, I understand why the blame goes to him because he's the one that was signed mid-season. And I feel like it's hard to deny that him coming in mid-season disrupted the chemistry, the culture, the connection of the group, and they don't look as connected as they were before him signing, and the results have flipped. But like in saying that, like as a fan, I understand that he's been signed for the future.
Yeah.
And I think I heard this on a podcast earlier in the week that maybe Gus has looked at the Bulldogs and with Sexton at halfback and stuff and just gone, we're not going to win the comp this year. Let's just go to the future. And, you know, as fans, you hope that they can win the comp. When you're sitting in first place and playing good footy, it's easier to go, oh yeah, like we're a chance to win the comp. But maybe Gus, who's like smarter than everyone, has gone, we're not winning the comp. We're still that, you know, step below. So let's just go all in on the future and better our chances in the future. And I think that's like, you can debate all you want now whether the Galvin thing was the right move. If the Dogs win a comp in the next 3 years, it was the right move, realistically. If they don't win a comp in the next 3 years, then you can start to go, all right, maybe it was the wrong decision because they have sacrificed a shot at the comp this year. But if they go on to win one in the next 3 years, I think it was worth sacrificing the shot this year.
You reckon there's still a chance this year?
I think they're a chance. It's hard to sit here and say that if they kept Sexton in there, they'd be a better chance than they are now because, yeah, like I just don't know if we were winning the comp with Sexton at halfback. Like everyone was sitting around saying, oh, you've had an easy draw. And then as soon as Gavin comes in, it's, oh, Sexton was winning more games. It's like, well, I thought you said that Sexton had an easy draw. So,
yeah,
like, if Sexton was still the halfback, would the Bulldogs have been winning these games? Maybe not. Like,
yeah.
Everyone wanted to say it was an easy draw, and now we can't hang with the top teams. Like,
the chemistry's definitely been impacted, though.
The chemistry, yeah. I think, like I've been saying, it's the 3 C's: the chemistry, the connection, and the culture.
Yeah,
I think has been impacted.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Like as I said, if they win a comp in the next 3 years, I think it's a good signing.
See, I put it down to a different C, a combination. Like, and that is going to take time to build. Any new player coming in, especially mid-season, that plays in the halves, is going to take time to adapt to systems and combination. Another example of that's happened this year is Blaise Talangi coming in, 19-year-old, 5'8", halfback, comes into Penrith Panthers. Ivan was reluctant to play him. He came off the bench a few times. He looked a little bit lost. But then with time, in the period of, 12, 13, 14 games, he's now become a genuine go-to and a foil for Nathan Cleary. And for me, that is him coming in. It would have affected the connection because, one, you're not winning. It's somebody new. It's somebody different. And I think it's the same with Lachie Galvin. I think he just needs a little bit more time, and that to work on those combinations, those connection pieces on the field. But I've seen numerous examples of, Stephen Crichton after the Tigers game, he sprinted to Lachie Galvin to put his arm around him to give him some words of advice. That, for me, is a huge connection piece. Because if you're not connected to that individual, if you're thinking you've made the wrong call, you don't go and run to him and put your arm around him after such a defeat like that. So I think there are examples of that connection still thriving. Look, and Winston made a great point. I like to think about parallel universes. Let's go back before the Dogs signed him or the Tigers allowed him to go, or he was dropped, or bullying, whatever it is. If he stays at the Tigers and this opportunity doesn't present itself, what position the Dogs are in now? I guess we don't know. We can only speculate. But where they are actually at is they sit third, and they do have a chance to win the comp. We've seen just what 3 weeks of form can do to a team like the Roosters. Everybody's hyping them up, and rightly so. They've earned that within the 3 weeks that of football that they've put together. They'd lost 2 in a row before that from memory.
Yeah,
and they were quote unquote fighting for their season with big games against Manly and big games against the Dolphins. Now they performed in those games. They took that form into the Bulldogs, and now it's like, Roosters, like with Sammy Walker back in the team, obviously he's a big catalyst, but they can win it. It's like, I think when we're looking at odds and predictions for the finals, if you think the Roosters have a better opportunity to win it this year than the Bulldogs, I think you're mad.
if they make the top 4, the Dogs? What if they miss the 4?
Well, they will make the top 4.
Yeah, they should make the top 4. They've got
They
a
will
tough
ma-
3
they-
weeks. Next 3
yeah.
weeks, they could lose every game to finish the season.
Yeah,
They got
I
Storm.
know they could win
They
every
got
game as well.
Sharkies. And who's the other? And they got
Storm,
Panthers.
Penrith, Sharks.
Sharks, yeah.
Yeah.
Tough 3 games.
So it is, of course it is.
Yeah,
And
three games.
that's exactly what you want.
Yeah. What would you say the percentage chance is that the Dogs can win the comp?
I'd say, to be honest, even like before Gavin came in though, like the percentage I don't think was very that high. Like I would have said.
What
maybe,
about peak Dogs at the start of the year,
like,
where
say, like
Belmore, everyone's dancing in Belmore?
Yeah, say,
you guys
like-
beat the Raiders. What about when you guys beat the
Yeah,
Raiders?
like let's go around like after we've beaten the Raiders. I probably reckon you're at 60 to 70%. Like
Yeah.
and that's probably when it peaked.
yeah,
And honestly, now you're probably not more than 20%.
yeah.
But
be honest.
also at that peak, Penrith were down the bottom
Yeah,
of the ladder.
that's true as well, though.
Yeah.
That's
So like
fair.
you're looking at percent, I reckon. Look, we'll get into that pyramid, Charlie, because I still think Storm are at the top. Like, but
So this is
again,
your Premiership Pyramid that
Yeah.
you've been doing leading into finals.
I think Storm are at the top.
so Storm level 1 by themselves.
Yeah, well, because that's how pyramids work, fundamentally. It's not, I'm only selecting one at the top. It's because our pyramids work.
Yeah.
There is a peak where it's only room for one.
Yep, nice.
I think based off, historical form, the quality of roster, we've spoken about their setup, the injuries that they've, I guess, it's a funny one because Jerome Hughes is likely to be back, and that has pulled them back closer to the pack. But most people have been saying this is Melbourne Storm's Premiership to lose. I think that is a ridiculous statement now, considering the rise of the consistency of Canberra. I think most people have been waiting for them to fail. They've not done that. And obviously the rise of Penrith. And I still think the Dogs are in the conversation because Melbourne haven't... Look, they beat the Panthers, but I honestly thought Penrith were the better team. And you were at that game. We were there. I think that you look at some of the opportunities that Melbourne managed to pluck out of that game, got them back into the contest. And you can maybe even look at the missed goal from Melbourne as well, from Nick Meaney, and go, well, it would never have got to that situation if Meaney had slotted that conversion, which was gettable.
Yeah.
And you got to credit for Melbourne for their try line defence. Like you really do. And people will say, "Oh, this player was missing," but Isaiah Yeo was missing as well.
Yeah.
So look,
That's true. And Isaiah Yeo is arguably, he's
most
Penrith's second most important player without question.
yes, most definitely. And look, Melbourne missed players, but I still think they're top. I think it's but there's a lot of heat coming their way.
Yeah. Who's on level 2 then?
2 teams. That's the Raiders and Penrith.
So the Doggies have dropped down off level 2 for you then.
No, they were on level 3. last
Okay,
time.
well, apologies.
They
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
Raiders, I'm still completely blown away by what they've achieved this year. It's a shame that more recognition isn't given to I hate the phrase minor premiers, but the top of the league at the end of the regular fixtures. I come from that sport and culture of top of the league is the best team in the comp all year. I know we don't have a home and away round fixtures, but it is what it is. The Raiders have been sublime. It's
As if you would just go back to that. As if you don't you prefer the finals method though? How much better? Are you telling me you want the regular season to end and the Premiership to be handed over to Raiders, or you want the final setup? Are you kidding me?
From an integrity point of view, I prefer it to go first past the post.
Oh, boring.
Yeah, but but it's integral. You've been the best team over the course of the year, not the best team at the back end of the year.
Yeah, but then the draw's not even in the NRL. So
yeah,
you do something like
fair
the
enough.
English Premier League,
Yeah, fair enough.
where every team versus each other twice.
All right, but okay, if we've got 4 rounds of finals, so what how many games do each team play at the moment?
Currently 24 games.
24
3
games.
buys.
So that'll take us to 28. Yeah, we're nowhere near.
We're nowhere near. You'd have to have a 32 round season. Which, I mean, if you don't do finals, you could. If you don't do finals, like it's a
and no buys.
Yeah.
Sign up for that.
Screw that.
But look, I understand why we have a final system, because we're also a franchise sport, not a tiered sport where the 17 teams are guaranteed to play NRL.
Playoffs, finals, it's just better. Like because
you know why it's better for you, Charlie. Let me tell you why it's better for you. Because you're a wannabe Yank.
No, I'm not a wannabe.
You are a
Yank.
wannabe Yank.
No.
You want to be American.
No, I don't.
You want March Madness in the NRL.
March Madness is fantastic. College basketball.
If you like basketball, you know what? I'll tune in on the last quarter. Who wants to?
They play halves in college basketball, not quarters. So you got it wrong there.
Who cares?
But anyway,
yeah. I'm a big Pac-10 fan. All this nonsense. How about you just get there for the start of the game? You don't tune in for the last 5 minutes.
It's not wannabe Yank.
It is, mate.
Like contests that have meaning. It's about creating the most meaningful games possible. And how do you do that? You do that with playoffs,
that's the American,
with finals.
the Americanization of sport.
Well, mate, you do it in the soccer as well with the European Champions League. You probably like that, don't you?
No,
you get your semis. You like the FA Cup.
You know what the
you like the Challenge Cup.
That's a straight knockout. It's a draw. You don't qualify into position. It's hello and welcome to the draw.
Well, the Champions League you do. You got to go through group stage. Now you have one big group, don't you?
And you know what?
And you go into the
and I hate that. And a lot of other people hate that. It's the glorified European Super League. But the Champions League used to be the champions. That's your only qualification. The holders and each team in each country's champions. That's what it should be. But the commercialization and the Americanization of sport has led us down this path. And I'm fine. I'm a part of it. I accept it. I do enjoy the finals and the playoffs, but there's a traditionalist in me that's like, give me first past the post.
Well, it would be so boring.
I know it would be.
What would we be talking about now on this show? We'd be talking about
Can the Storm catch the Raiders?
Huge game. Penrith Raiders this weekend.
Yeah, imagine
massive.
How good that would be.
Friday. I mean, to be fair, Friday's
it's
the perfect Friday for the minor premiership race.
Oh, mate,
but so many teams out of it.
Mate,
what would we be talking about?
Charlie?
We would have made the top 8 game. Like, so Manly play Tigers. Oh, Manly season's now done. Let's put them up on the hoist. Like, you need the finals, mate. It makes it so much more entertaining.
No, I'm willing to commit to. I accept this, and it's fine. But more should be given to the minor premiers. Let's put it that way.
Maybe the NRL could give a bigger cash prize.
Yeah, incentivize.
And they're like, forget about the $1 million to the club. Give it to the players.
Yes,
like give the cash prize to the players. So every player, who plays in the minor premiership, wins the minor premiership, gets $50,000 each. It's $1.5 million for the team. For some of those, mate, those guys in the bottom 30, it's like that's whole year's salary.
Well, mate, just even think about the lack of importance put on it, because, and I don't think any monetary compensation would take this away. But the Raiders played the Dolphins round 27 in Brisbane at KO Stadium on the Sunday. They're going to have a Saturday finals game. Like, Ricky Stewart should just pretend that there's been, an airline malfunction, or get one of his mates to call up a pretend threat at the airport. Oh, sorry, we couldn't fulfill a fixture.
Yeah, honestly, mate,
we'll forego the 2 points.
Yeah,
but we'll happily see you in round 1 of playoffs.
Yeah, that's why I'm starting to think that Melbourne probably will win the minor premiership though as well, because Canberra, I've got the Panthers on Friday. It's going to be a tough game for them in Mudgee. So good for Mudgee that they get that game.
Yeah.
Like, how good if you live in Mudgee? You're like, what? We got the best game of the year on our doorstep. How good. And then they've got that game last round of the season where surely they rest.
But then maybe Melbourne rest a few as well. I think they got Brisbane.
Well, they got Brisbane on the Thursday. Yeah.
But it's a Thursday. It's a lot.
Yeah. But, mate, this year, coming first or second, it almost doesn't matter, does it? It's like you're going to either have the Warriors or the Bulldogs. Sort of the same thing, isn't it?
Oh, you disgrace.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah.
Just on the topic of first and second, do you think you'd rather come second and play the Bulldogs than first and play the Panthers? Because at the moment, it looks like first is going to play the Panthers and second plays Bulldogs. So you're almost throwing the last game anyway, so you get to play the Bulldogs and not the Panthers.
100%.
Look, trust me, teams don't think like that.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they would. Of course they would, mate. They'll rest. They don't need to think about that in terms of, let's throw the game. But like what Winston said, they can rest
the
players
consequence
to avoid
of finishing first or second, and maybe therefore you finish second, you get what people may conceive as an easier game in round one of finals is the stuff of fantasy. You can't be thinking that way.
Yeah, they do.
But also, who gets fourth? I think the Sharks are the sneaky. Could sneak there.
I reckon that game against the Dogs in the last round, they're probably going to lose that.
You've just been saying only moment, mate. You've picked two winners or two. Sorry, no.
I was trying to
negative American watered down yank over there. You've picked two losers for that game. Jesus Christ.
Your pyramid though.
Oh yeah, I don't even know
you've
where
done your two levels.
I've basically talked. We've pivoted from the Raiders.
Yeah.
Penrith are in there as well for obvious reasons. The next line is Roosters, Dogs, Broncos, Sharks. And then at the bottom is, I guess, the Dolphins, the Warriors, Manly. But
Manly are done, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're on to be fair, they're on the same wins as the Tigers, so you can throw the Tigers in there as well.
Mate, honestly, you'd almost screw Manly off, put the Tigers there, because they're actually building. They play the Cowboys this weekend. They're going to beat the Cowboys, you would expect. They'll go to 10 wins.
I love your predictions. I love your... they're just going to do this. Yeah, it's been that type of year, hasn't it, Charlie, where you can just go, they'll beat them.
Yeah, it's been easy to pick,
Yeah. But I was thinking, Charlie, that the bottom 9 teams, and obviously a lot of focus on the race for the 4, the jostling for position in amongst those teams. And we are going to do a review show for each and every team at the back end of the year. We love doing that and taking the deep dive. But like, if you look at the bottom 9, like how optimistic each of those teams should be. And look, I've said on this podcast before around how Penrith are set up for a strong period of domination, but there's something shoots there and there's a lot to like about a lot of teams. So all the teams currently in the 8, they'll be fancying themselves next year. Go to the bottom 9, the Dolphins. I mean, come on. Injuries. They've obviously signed Cobbo. They've got Morgan Knowles coming to the club, so they are much improved.
Is George Williams going to end up there? There was talk about him, so that's not going to happen now.
It's not going to happen now. No, right. Warrington have basically stopped it.
Stopped the deal.
Looks like he may join Perth Bears. So he'll be available to join Perth Bears, and I think he's got an appetite to come back play in the NRL.
He was amazing when he's sort of one of the only halves who's come from England and had a good crack here.
Yeah, so that's the current state of play with him. So the Dolphins, so much to like. The Seagulls underperformed this year massively. DCE out, Fogarty in, Paseka back, huge. Tigers, I mean, look,
they're heading in the right direction. They've not signed players of note. Kai Pearce-Paul's a good signing.
Sorry, Kai Pearce-Paul, yes. I keep forgetting about him. But then they've also, I think Benji Richardson would hope they've got room to move with
full year with Taylor May as well.
Yeah, but room to move with, it looks like Jack Baird and Royce Hunt, which will free up some money for them to go and get active in the transfer market. You've got the Dragons, who've been amazing this year, especially recently. They'll be looking to carry that form into next year, and the knowledge that they're not that far away. How can Coach Flanagan fine-tune a few of those performances?
And mate, injuries have hurt them for some of their forward pack as well. They lost Couchman to an ACL. They lost Dylan Egan to an ACL. And they've got this young group of forwards that are just going to get better and better.
Yeah, absolutely. Then you've got the Cowboys. You'd
expect them to get better.
You would.
I mean, if they sack their coach and get a new coach in there, you expect that there'll be a bump there. They've got a stacked roster. Oh, yeah. Plus injuries, they'll get Lukey back for the year. Yeah,
they've got an underperforming roster. The Eels, they've shown great signs this year. Mitchell Moses, if he can have a full season, what they're capable of, and their style is taking shape. South's injuries, look, Wayne Bennett, if he gets a proper roster together, Cam Murray, Latrell Mitchell, Brandon Smith, the list goes on.
Man, they're actually stacked, that roster, if they're all fit. Like the only thing they're missing is probably another middle forward. But Kalol Matangi moving to the middle probably for all year for them next year, you'd expect. He's playing in the middle this weekend. Good to see him back.
Then the Knights, they've obviously gone all in on Dylan Brown. Can he change their fortunes? I guess, look, a lot of people may discredit what you say about the Knights, but they do the hardest part of the game better than most, which is foundations to build off. You bring in Dylan Brown, Kalen Ponga. There's you go to, and then finally, sorry, go on, Charles.
I was going to say Peter Parr has again said that Adam O'Brien's safe.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Then you've the Titans, and you go, well, again, injury, potentially a new coach, underperforming roster. Like, they're the bottom 9 teams, and all of those are starting to get excited. Plus, the top 8 will be looking to build on their years.
Yeah.
It's setting up for a great season already next year.
It's going to be great. What do you reckon that's down to now? I wonder if expansion's helping just spread talent a bit more, and just clubs are getting smarter and smarter. There's no stupid. It doesn't feel like there's any stupid clubs anymore.
Yeah, I think that. I think a lot of clubs have raised their game. I think also like the development of the professional athlete. I think the athlete has come a long way as well in recent years, where it's more of an even playing field in terms of knowledge, skill acquisition, skill development. Like, there's a lot more evenness in talent development. But I don't know. But there's a lot to.
It's a great era. The next few years is going to be a great era for the game.
We've been in the media, and the media have been a big part of the game, and you're clutching at straws to talk up a few teams there for next year. But all of those teams that I've just mentioned would be aiming for the 8.
Every fan base got a reason to be excited for next year.
That will be the reasonable expectation. Now, I know this year, Charlie, we've not seen any coaches go as of yet. I think next year, due to that level of expectation, and if 2 or 3 of those go into the 8, that means 2 or 3 have to drop out of the 8.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see some heads roll next year from the coaching position.
Yeah, definitely.
Just off that alone.
Yeah, one of those coaches could be Anthony Seibold. So let's talk about Manly, because I'm gonna throw a yank term at you, Jimmy. Is it time for the Manly Seagulls to blow it up and commit to a rebuild? Do they need? Obviously, DC is going. We know that's happening.
Yep.
That's all been confirmed. Jake Trbojevics has obviously had the concussion injuries now. There's talk maybe there's a chance he retires. We don't know what's happening there. He's signed until the end of 2026. Tom Trbojevic is signed until the end of 2026. I wonder if it's time for them to just go, all right, let's move on from the Trbojevic DCE era. Let's focus on our younger players. Kula or Leo Hopewada can be our fullback. We've got Jamal Fogarty coming, and Joey Walsh is playing in reserve grade at the moment. Looks like he's got a bright future. Do they just commit to that? And then instead of worrying about keeping Tom Trbojevic and paying him $900,000 a year, go and get a decent middle to go alongside Paseka?
Yeah, look, I mean, you go the ideal world, then you go, let's just go and find a decent middle. Like,
there's a few good names available from 2027, from 2027 to a November 1.
Tino could be one. Yeah,
Tino's one of them.
I think you'd be mad to cut ties with the Trbojevic brothers. You got Ben there as well. Like, there's a thing about having brothers in your team, and what they've done for that football club. Let's not forget, Tom's only 28.
I know, but he's not if you're a Manly fan, God, every year he's promised to deliver the world, and it hasn't worked out.
I think, and I scratch my head around this, and I know probably people could go back and say, Jimmy, you've said he needs to be fullback, and no Tommy, no trophy, and he needs to be fullback to win the big games. But I've looked at the game of Stephen Crichton in recent weeks and how he's in this hybrid role of right centre, but attacking goal line in fullback, basically. And we've seen Tommy play in the centres and pop up on both sides of the field in a very structured manner. I think there's room for unstructured centre position and also positioning him as the fullback on his side. So he'll pop up on both sides of the field, but when he's on his side, why doesn't he, if he plays centre and maybe a Hopewada plays fullback or whoever it may be, why not alternate them and create havoc within the defensive line about who's actually getting the ball, who's not? I think that could be a potential go-to, and then you please all parties, because he's so key, because again, we know his potential, we know his ability, which probably he's been down on.
But we've heard about the potential, and we saw that year where he brained it and won the Dally M by a mile. But
he was fit. That's what it was. It wasn't potential. He was fit. And if he's fit, then Manly are a harder team to beat.
But he
and if
can't
he's not
stay
fit, okay, well, this is the point I'm saying. I don't think you cut ties from him. I think you talk to him about this new role at the club.
And what's that worth then on your books? Because there's talk he's going to get close to $1 million to stay. Like I don't know if Tom can get $1 million. I don't know if you're a club, if you can pay Tom Trbojevics $1 million a year. I think it's crazy. Like imagine he leaves Manly, okay? At that pay packet, which club's going to come into him for $1 million? Maybe the Dragons. Maybe.
Depends how long they've got to move.
Yeah.
You know what, Charlie, you make a good point. There isn't many teams that would offer him too much more.
Yeah, I reckon they need to try and get him to stay for like 600.
I don't know if you need to go that low, but I think you could play him in that hybrid centre role at 758, maybe 9, because he's still going to. And mate, Tom Trbojevics, and every player is there for what they do on the field, but there's a lot of stuff around the leadership aspect of the football club, the connection to community, which Tom does, which people may argue or not about whether that should be, part of the package that a club offers to you, but it is important.
And they care. They care.
Oh man, no one cares more.
Yeah. I reckon it's interesting. I asked a couple of Manly fans before doing the show today. I actually called Tom Birmingham and asked him what he thought about it. He said it's like sacrilegious to even talk about getting rid of Tommy.
Yeah,
is his opinion. However, I think for their cap, it's probably the right thing to do. Well, to accept that Lehigh Puati or Tolu Kula, whoever you think's better out of the two of them, one of them could be a fullback for the future. And maybe they could be better than Tom Trbojevics. Who knows? They're still really young.
I think what I see in this is the watered down yank that's trying to stir the pot and create havoc and create controversy.
It's not worked for Manly. And like as good as the Trbojevics are and how great they are for the community and they do the right thing and they go to the schools and everyone loves them and they love playing for Manly and the last 10 years for Manly, we did the 10-year ladder.
Yeah.
Not much has happened for Manly in the last 10 years.
I just can't see them doing that. I really can't.
Yeah.
Should we get stuck into the round preview?
Let's do a huge round of footy.
Great round
huge round of footy. Starts with the Rabbitohs against the Dragons, which could be massive. Alex Johnson needs 3 tries to level the record with Ken Irvine, most tries of all time. 4, he breaks it. And a game against the Dragons, if the Dragons are off, it could be the game he does it.
And then the pitch invaders come.
We're obviously working for Triple M. We're going to run down, though, I assume. And
I'm going to run.
If I'm invading. I'm invading.
Invader.
Yeah. I was there at the SCG for Buddy Franklin when he kicked his 1,000th goal, and I ran on the field for that. I'm running on the field for Alex Johnson.
Imagine if they just find the commentators like the 5 grand, all the other, all just to set an example.
Have our media pass. We've got field of place. We're actually allowed on there.
And just like do the Ali G where you put the finger in there. I'm allowed on.
I might run to the security guard and like tackle a security guard, even if they're because
and then just start singing, we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved like a team. Sports the invisible man. We shall not be moved.
Get on the field. Everyone get in the field. I encourage everyone to get in the field not when he levels it because this is the confusion.
God, no! If you're on the field when he levels it, you deserve a 10 grand fine.
Yeah, but I can understand the confusion.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. I can understand.
What's confusing? I equal a record or I break a record. Yeah, but there's no confusion about it, Charlie.
If you equal the record, do you have the record?
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. You've equaled the record. You've equaled the record, so you have the record.
You share the record.
I actually think should be a storming for both.
Oh,
a storming of the field for the equaling
for idiocy.
And a storming of the field for the break as well. So there's a double storm.
No. Yeah, because you want to break a record. If I ran the same pace as Usain Bolt, I share the record.
Oh, and how good would that be to be the fastest man alive alongside Usain?
It's the same.
It's the
you want to beat Usain.
Usain, mate. I'd honestly be happy to be close to Usain.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. If I ran under 11.5,
I'd be stoked.
Framed. But no, don't get confused with equaling the record and breaking the record. There is a big difference. You deserve to be fined double if you run on when he equals the record. When he breaks it, get involved.
Yeah, they've got 2 games to go because they've got the bye, of course, next week. So they've got this game against Dragons where I think he probably needs at least 2 I think at least 2 heading into the Chooks game.
I wonder, right, now that Souths are like clear of the spoon,
Do they hunt it?
do they go goodwill hunting and go, right, you know what, we're playing for AJ here?
Yeah. It's a reason to show up for that game as well.
Because you
like,
don't want it in round 1 or 2.
No, boring. You want it, to be honest, you want it against the Chooks. And you want it in like a key moment to knock the Chooks out of the final race.
I reckon he gets he needs what would be the promoter's dream. He gets a hat trick against the Dragons.
Yep.
And then he's just one away from doing it. And it's like he scores 79th minute.
Yeah.
It's the Aguero moment. It's the Solskjaer moment.
Yeah.
Johnson has broke it in the last minute of extra time.
And everyone's on the Roosters fans dejected, wanting to play the last 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be great. And also, mate, like that game might be a sellout anyway because it's Roosters Bunnies and it's at Allianz as well, that game. But
I'll be disappointed if I don't see South go out with a game plan to get AJ 3 tries this week.
Yeah, I like it. Do you like South in this game? I think I like South in this game as well. Kalamatongi's back.
Yeah, I think Dragons are so depleted. 3 missing from that HIA
and Hamish Stewart's out as well.
Like, I just look. Souths are getting some troops back. Where Dragons are dropping, but they'll keep fighting.
No, DeBellin's huge. Like that's a huge out.
They'll keep fighting for each other. But yeah, I think Souths for me.
Also, Cody's on the bench again, which is interesting. He came on and he was he looked really good when he came off. Man, we didn't really pump Cheese up much because he was here and he's a humble man. But Cheese is awesome in attack for them. I love him in that ball playing lock role.
He is good. He is.
You could tell Cody was loving the service that he was giving to him as well. It was good to see.
I think Souths for me in that one. And then Friday,
right, best Friday night footy we've had in recent memory.
We're gonna be in Cairns, Charlie.
We're gonna be in Cairns. We are.
We're gonna have to watch it in Cairns.
That's right. The pot's back. We didn't mention that off the top. We got the pots. It starts Friday lunchtime though, so get on before then because the races on Friday are part of it. And then Jimmy, in case you missed Monday's episode, he had some winners and a half.
Didn't I just? So we're getting quick, guys. Don't miss this pot. Me and Charlie will be watching the games on Friday. Up in Cairns, Panthers against Raiders in Mudgee. Like you say, Charlie, Mudgee have landed on their feet there.
Yeah. 3.5 hour drive from Sydney, but I reckon the ticket sold out months ago.
Well, all the Mudgee locals will be getting around that.
Yeah.
I think if Yo plays, geez, that battle in the middle is going to be good.
Cheese had that stat on Monday. I think it's like 85% of teams lose the week after they play the Storm. The Storm hangover.
After they beat the Storm.
Oh, okay. I thought it was played, but yeah, okay.
Nah, I'm leaning towards the Panthers, like just slightly.
Okay. All right.
Just after that, they'll be hurting.
Yeah.
And with Yo back,
you don't think the buy's going to have really freshened up Canberra? Canberra going to be putting a lot into this game.
Yeah, they will. It's going to be great. It's got the ingredients for a classic on that Mudgee as well. Like, hopefully it's a dry track there. Now I'm leaning towards Penrith, but it is an either way game. In
many ways, it's must win for Penrith
to make the top 4. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Then we go for the second game, which we've spoken a bit about already, but Storm Doggies. So Tilly Tupanua and Marcello Montoya on the extended squad. You'd expect they probably come in, wouldn't you, Winston, somewhere?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think like Montoya has to come in after Tuala against Tupou because if Tupou's the best dude in the air in the NRL, then Xavier Coates is the second best dude. And he's also on the left wing. So just that's like a nightmare as a Bulldogs fan thinking about that. So yeah, hopefully Montoya goes back in. Hopefully Kraz goes back to the right wing as well. And then hopefully Satilli can play because when he's played for us this year, he's been so good. But he just can't stay on the field. I don't know who drops out. Like possibly Curran. I've heard whispers around because he's had a bit of a drop in form, or maybe Sam Hughes. But yeah, hopefully Satilli can get back in as well.
Yeah, even Marnie, like I wonder if there's a small chance he drops out and
go forward.
Maybe.
Yeah. I want the Dogs to win, but look, I'm going to tip the Storm. No way. But it's a hard one.
I think the Storm win, but I actually think this is a much better matchup for you guys in turn compared to the Chooks. Like, because they haven't got those same like explosive middles who can just blow the game apart. I wonder if Big Nelson comes in for this one, because I reckon you'd really struggle to handle Big Nelson. But like Stefano's form's been incredible since Origin. Like, all his stats are up. Tackle bust, meters, minutes played. Even he's playing bigger minutes. He's just looking so good. His offloads
he has
are
looked
up.
really good.
So he's going to be tough. Yeah, you're going to struggle with him. But I don't know. I think the Dogs can maybe.
But it definitely can. It's a winnable game.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And the spine reshuffle as well. Like, I know it worked against Penrith, but Munster at the back, I mean, the Dogs will have been able to prepare for that now. And
Cheese mentioned the Melbourne hangover. I wonder what the Panthers hangover is like.
Yeah. Very high, I assume.
Interesting. Next up, Manly against the Dolphins. What could have been a classic and almost a finals come early game. Manly now out of contention, realistically. It's a big one for the Dolphins, though. They've had some heartbreak the last couple of weeks. They're clinging on. I think they'll get the win now.
DCA's 350th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
At Brookie, I wonder what reception is for that, because, I mean, if the year hadn't turned out the way it would, this would be
quite sad,
massive
really.
moment. Yeah,
Quite sad.
It is quite sad.
Yeah, that he's not going to get.
I think he'll regret this when it's all said and done, DCE.
I think he's not going to get anywhere near the fanfare or the hype that this milestone deserves. Congratulations to DCE on what he has achieved, and making 350 is quite remarkable. But unfortunately, it's not going to be as ceremonious and as, I guess, memorable as what it deserves to be. I hope the Manly fans give him a great reception and Manly rise for him, but I mean, the proof's in the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah. Must win for Dolphins, though.
Dolphins will
Their
get it.
season's pretty much over if they lose this one.
Yeah.
Titans Warriors, like on paper, you'd think, oh, it's 17th versus 4th. There's no way the Titans can win. But the Titans love playing the Warriors.
They do. And the Warriors, they got away with that one against the Dragons. I think realistically, if the Warriors are any, then I can't see them doing much in finals. They were pretty average last week.
Oh, man, Dragons win that game 10 times out of 10 if they don't have the injuries.
Yeah. I think the Warriors will get this one, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Titans would pour against the Sharks.
There's some interesting reshuffles. I'm surprised, but there's Tuapicki's been dumped as fullback. I thought he was looking pretty good, but then they put Shans back to fullback. Rocco Berry's now fit, so he comes back into the team. Capewell returns from concussion, pushes Halasima to the bench.
They're looking a bit stronger on paper with those 2 inclusions.
Yeah, and Tamari Martin comes onto the bench as well.
Yeah. Warriors for me.
Okay. Then we go to 7:30, Eels, Roosters, Saturday night.
Definitely the Roosters.
Roosters by how many is it?
Not by how many, but as long as they come with a strong mindset and the right mindset, they'll win this game.
I saw Dean Ritchie wrote an article in the telly about how the Parramatta rebuild's been so overhyped and where they're sitting. I couldn't disagree more.
Yeah, I think they've looked a lot better.
Yeah.
Like from the beginning of the season to where they are now, look so much better.
Yeah.
And I think with the development of some of the younger players, I think they've got obviously more to get from Talon De Silva, and Mitch Moses is so important. Like we spoke about in
if he's fit, they're probably if he's fit for the whole year, they're maybe fighting for the 8. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Knights Broncos, this early game on a Sunday. Geez, the Knights are depleted at the moment.
Yeah, I think this is the Broncos. If Reece Walsh turns up with the speed boots on, it could be dangerous.
I think it could be Bronx by a lot. And also, this could be a really big weekend for the spoon race because the Knights are in that spoon battle. They're only 1 win ahead. If the Titans can get the win against the Warriors, that's huge for them.
4 and against it. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And they've got another winnable game, last game of the season against the Tigers at home, Titans. So the Knights run home's tougher. Like I think this is must win. It's getting to that point where the Knights probably are going to need a win unless the Titans don't win.
Yeah.
Tigers Cowboys, Jimmy. This will be a really good game.
What
actually.
an exciting game to finish the round.
Yeah.
Like, should be a fun game. I hope both teams come with that attacking mindset.
A lot of people's Supercoach grand finals are this weekend as well. So then you've got this game coming down to it. Could be a lot of points in it. You could be versus someone who's got Scott Drinkwater as captain, and he could just ruin your hopes after a great weekend. I am in my grand final as well, by the way.
Right,
so
nice. Good on
my
you.
grand final. So good luck to the White Knights. Hopefully, get the win.
Tigers for me in this one.
Tigers for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure seeing you as always.
As always, Charlie. As always, enjoy the football. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. We'll catch you next week.